we're on to our next great candidate. So I can't wait to introduce you to someone who I met um, not too long ago in Austin, Texas, and she was just darling and definitely a friend of mine now. So let me introduce you to Cassandra Hernandez. She is running for Texas House District 115, and she's running for the open seat vacated by Julie Johnson, who we also love dearly. So welcome, Cassandra. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and why you're running for office?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much, Nancy, for inviting me to be on. And for those of you who I haven't had the honor and privilege to meet yet, just like Nancy said, my name is Cassandra Hernandez, and I am running to fill the very giant shoes of Representative Julie Johnson, a dear friend and mentor to me for a very long time. And so House District 115 is here in the northwest area of Dallas County. For those of you who are watching who maybe either live in the district or know somebody, those areas include Addison, Farmers Branch, Capel, Carrollton, Irving, Dallas, a little bit of Louisville, but all within the Dallas County area. And so just a little bit about me. I am a small business owner. I'm also a lawyer as well. I practice both in civil as well as immigration law. And I'm honored to have the opportunity to have obtained that through amazing public education. But I tell people more than anything, I believe that I am a community advocate. And that's why I decided to go into the practice of law, was because I wanted to be able to help people within our community. And so I have been doing that since that time. I have done pretty extensive community service here in the Dallas County area. Did a lot of stuff during the pandemic with helping people stay in their homes with eviction advice and getting them to resources that they needed to be able to pay for their utilities and their home and all of those things while they were trying to take care of their family members or even themselves, or some of them lost their jobs. I've also headed up and done a lot of pro bono work in the immigration realm. So doing things for City of Dallas, citizenship workshops, asylum refugee cases through RAICs and Catholic Charities, those type of things. And then also through a great organization that I've been part of for a very long time, Mexican American Bar Association. Every year we do a pro bono clinic that services underserved areas in Dallas County, and just covers a multitudes of legal services to people in underserved areas. And then, of course, more than anything, just joining organizations, being part of Dallas Democrats, supporting other Democrats up and down the ballot, either through fundraising for them, block walking for them, promoting them, throwing fundraisers for them, and also other charitable type organizations. I tell people that's my passion, is making sure that I elect people who care about the people. And so whenever I was fortunate enough to have Representative Julie Johnson reach out to me and let me know that she was potentially considering another race, and if whether I would be interested in potentially running for House District 115. It meant the world to me because she was the candidate that I supported when she was running, because I knew that she was somebody who was of the community and cared about the community. And so a lot of folks don't realize it, but House District 115 is actually a minority majority district. And so Julie's hope was to find somebody who represents and lives the real experience of the community. And so that's the hope that I'll be able to do for House District 115, is to carry that very diverse, very rich cultural voice to the state house for everybody here in House District 115.
Well, that sounds great. So what are the three top issues that are impacting your district right now that you're running on?
Sure. Well, I mean, I would say, as being a Democrat here in the state of Texas, we have a giant list of things that I feel like need to be addressed, not only in House District 115, but the whole state, that we know that Republican leadership has been not taking care of us as Texans. But I would say the three particular issues that we're really concentrating on our campaign, which are not very different from just us as Democrats, fighting on these particular issues. But the first and foremost is public education. As somebody being a proud product of public education, like I said, no way I would be where I am here today if it wasn't for my amazing teachers and school districts that made sure that I continue to strive and get better and just always lifting me up. And so, I feel even more so with the community that gave me so much, I need to give back to that. And so I believe wholeheartedly in making sure that we invest in education. And we know that education is the equalizer of all communities. And so in particular, during this ledge session, we made sure that we put out information to everybody in House District 115 about vouchers and how bad they were as far as defunding public education, explaining to them about all of the three districts, the school districts, four school districts in House District 115, but all the three that were operating in deficit, and ways to encourage people to be involved and follow what was going on, and caravaned folks to Austin to stand shoulder to shoulder with public education allies to say that we were no to vouchers, wanted to fully fund public education and take care of our teachers, our staff, and ultimately our students, our future generation. And so public education is definitely, I would say, the number one. That's the one that we very often get at the doors that people are most concerned about. And then in second is safety. Here in House District 115, we've had a huge fentanyl crisis going on. And of course, it's decimating communities all over the state of Texas and all over the US. But House District 115 has been impacted very intimately about that. We've lost some students, and students even were very much, got sick from fentanyl. And so public safety is really important. In addition to that, being a Everytown Fellow, losing my father to gun violence when I was very young, fighting for common sense gun legislation is a number one priority for me, and something that is very important to us in the district and all over the state of Texas. And so in addition to that, of course, healthcare access is so important. Representative Julie Johnson did a phenomenal job with fighting for Medicaid expansion with the Live Well Texas bill. I promised her we will continue to keep championing that bill in the hopes that one day we will be able to bring her back to the State House and celebrate that victory. And making sure that we get access to and expand Medicaid here in the state of Texas. And then, of course, in line with healthcare access is also making sure that we fight for our reproductive rights, that we need to get back as all of us, and as somebody who has headed up a statewide women's caucus and advocated for that, also with Sick of It Texas for Medicaid expansion. We got to make sure that we send somebody to the State House who not only is fighting for these issues that we care about, but actually has the knowledge and has been doing the work in the State House, and then also here locally to make sure that we push those things in the future.
Well, those all sound wonderful. And I really hope you guys pass that Medicaid expansion. I hope we do that this next legislative session.
Yes.
It's so super duper important that we get this job done.
Yes.
So many families are dependent on it. So
yeah.
we really have to pass it. So I really appreciate that. So tell us, where can we find you and how best can we support you right now?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I've got my website is www.cassandrafortexas.com. And in addition to that, I tell people it doesn't even matter if you aren't in the district. One of the things that I love about us as Democrats is that we help Democrats all over the state of Texas. So if you can donate, great. If you want to share my content, that's fantastic as well. If you're in the district or you know somebody who's in the district, reach out to them and tell them, to look up our campaign, follow us, reach out. We'd love to give you a free sign. And of course, canvassing and showing up, poll greeting, because we're heading into early voting and election day. All of these things we desperately need, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you so much, Nancy, for giving me the opportunity to tell everybody about my campaign and give me the opportunity to let people know how to get involved.
Yes, well, I'm so glad that you joined us tonight and I get to see you again, even if it's on Zoom. I'm so happy to see you again, and I can't wait to see you on the campaign trail. I'm hoping to head up to like the DFW area very, very soon and go help out some candidates who are running for
Wonderful.
office. So hopefully I'll get to see you there.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nancy.
Mhm.